This is for today's lesson for September 10th and also September 11th for 6.RP.1.A, comparison of two or more items for ratios. Our LEQ is how are ratios used by people in their everyday lives and why is it useful? The engagement is how have you seen your parents use ratios in the last month? So the LEQ, how are ratios used by people in their everyday lives, might be that they use it for cooking, baking, building, measuring, cloth for sewing, anything like that. And why is it useful? Because you need to have comparisons of two or more items because we use more than one item in our lives. The engagement is how have you seen your parents use ratios in the last month? Some students said that they had seen them use it in order to cook, to bake. Someone had mentioned also about mixing oil and gas for dirt bikes, which you would also have to do for weed whackers as well and other two-stroke engines. The warm-up can be written in the journal or the OneNote journal through Teams. Here's the warm-up here. Give the ratio comparison of 17 large birds and 4 bird feeders. Use this format here or this format. And for every blank large birds, there are blank bird feeders. So in order to complete this correctly, we have to put the 17 first. So I put the 17 here and then the 4 here. Then I could put the 17 here and the 4 here. And then for every 17 large birds, there are 4 bird feeders. Now I've put the larger number first, the number that has a greater value, because the question is asking me to compare the birds to the bird feeders. In order to get to OneNote, you have to go through Teams. Now I went through a team here on this side, and I picked a practice team because it has no names in it. Now what will happen is up above in your toolbar, you'll go to Class Notebook, and it will automatically open up your notebook, which will have a section for small group, handout, journal, and tests and quizzes. You would choose to do a journal entry. Then we watched a video from Math Antics on ratios. So I will attach that link in separately from this link. And then we practice going to Agile Mind, which is going through the home page of Calvert County, clicking on For Students. You would then click on Agile Mind. You would then type in your username and password, which is your 5-digit lunch pin without the S. Mine is obviously a little different. I'm going to X out of here. I'm going to go to my courses, 6 Math. I'm going to go over to course contents, close that, click on introducing ratios, and then we have the overview again. So it's much of the same thing that we did last week in exploring how to use Agile Mind. This would be the overview. Occasionally there are different sections of page numbers, and you will see those here, like having 3 separate paragraphs. And then we got to our closure, which was one thing about ratios that you learned today that you did not already know and how we use that new information. And I will put the 8-minute video on ratios where students took notes and they had answered their warm-up and then they answered their exit slip.